Okay. When we launch the new instance in AWS, when we try to log into that particular new server, first time we have to use the private key to connect to the Linux server. We can't connect through password because password authentication would be disabled in that Linux server. Okay. Now, how can we connect to the Linux server using private key? Let me show you. Let's close this window. Launch the putty again. Share the screen. Okay. Here we should enter IP address or host name of the Linux server. Next, I need to select the SSH, which is under connections. SSH, expand this and go to authentications. Click on credentials. Okay. Here we need to add the private key file. How can we get this private key file? When we are going to create the new instance, right? That time only we create ppk file, private key file. Click on open. Once you click on the open button, right? Here you can see this window. Login as. Enter username. Default username would be Ubuntu. Yes, it's connected. It's connected to the Linux server. Here you can see. As of now, it's connected in normal user mode. To get super user privileges, we should use sudo switch user. So by default, it switches to the root user. Here you can see. Now this Ubuntu user has administrative privileges. Okay. I don't want to connect to this Linux server using private key file. I want to connect to this server using username and password. How can I connect? So I don't want to use a private key file every time. Okay. Again, we'll see that one. Go to putty. Let's take one more session, new session. Let me share this one also. We need to enter the IP address of the server 3.108.218.247. Okay. I'm not going to add the private key file. Simply click on open. Here you can see login as. Enter username Ubuntu. Now I need to enter the password for this user. Okay. I have connected to the you can see the screen, right? This is the previous one. Yeah. Here I have connected to the Linux server using password authentication. How can we enable this password authentication and connect to the Linux server? from command prompt. For that, we need to enable two things. One is password authentication and SSH. We need to enable the SSH service. Here you can see SSH and remote access. So this is always not required for us, but we should be aware of how to connect Linux server from command prompt or from one Linux server to another Linux server. How can we access? This is a most important thing to know. How can we access one Linux server from another Linux server? We have 10 Linux servers. How can we connect? So every time go ahead and use the putty tool to connect all 10 servers, right? No, I want to connect to the one Linux server using putty tool. Once I connect to the one Linux server, I want to access second server from the first server. I don't want to launch new instance. Okay, how it is. Now we have connected to the A server. Now we are in A server. I want to connect to the B server from the same session. Okay, I don't want to enter again IP address, username or password. I can connect to the another B server from putty tool. Again, I can launch the putty tool, enter the B server IP address and use its credentials. How can I connect from one server to another server? So now I am in A server. From A server to I want to connect to the B server. For that, we need to enable the SSH service. How can we do that? So first thing, we need to check this password authentication status. Is it disabled or enabled? If it is showing no, so password authentication is disabled. If it is showing yes, okay, it is enabled to access the server using password authentication. And this one also should be enabled. These two items should be yes in the SHD configuration file. How can we open this file? First, we will navigate to this path and open this configuration file. We know, right, how to navigate. Let me change the preferences, increase the font. CD CD/ means root directory, etc shd ssh. Directly we read the file. This is SHD file. Can we look for those two items here? Password authentication. Here you can see, right? Password authentication, yes. So by default, it is set to no. We have to edit this file. Okay, this one also, where it is. Here. These two configuration items should be enabled. That is the first step. Next one, set a password for the Ubuntu user. By default, there would be no password for the Ubuntu user because we are going to use the private key file to connect to the Linux server. We will not have any password for the Ubuntu user. We have already learned how to reset the password, how to set the password for the user by using passwd command, passwd username. So we can reset the password for this user. Next, restart the SSH service. How can we restart this service? There are two commands we have to restart service. First one is systemctl restart SSH. Systemctl restart SSH. Why we are going to use this sudo every time? So sudo allow us to get or execute the execute with admin privileges. It provides super user permissions. Okay, so that we use every time sudo before any command. Without this sudo also we can use. When we are in root user, we can directly use this command. There is one more command to start the service or restart the service, or to know the status of the service or stop the service. That is sudo service name and give the parameter. If you want to restart it, restart. Service name, restart. To know the status, service name, status. Okay, let me check the status of the service. Sudo service name SSH status. Here you can see the service status. Present is enabled, active running. And if I want to stop this one, service name SSH stop. Okay. Status. It is showing inactive. This service is not running. How can we start it? Start by using service name start. Again, you can check the service status. Service status is active and running. So restart. So it will stop and start eternally when we use restart parameter. Okay. So whenever we do any configuration changes to the respective service, that service should be restarted. We need to remember this key point. I'm going to modify this configuration file shd config. Then I have to restart the respective service. Then only this configuration changes will be applied. Otherwise, we don't see the changes. You have modified this configuration file. You have set the password authentication to yes. Then you are trying to access the system using password. It will not allow you to access it because this service configuration file is modified, but the service was not restarted. So the latest changes will not be reflected. We have to restart the service. Systemctl, you can use it. So here you can see small difference. Systemctl, give the parameter, whatever we are going to take the action. You want to stop the service or start the service, to know the status of the service or restart it. We need to give that keyword, later service name. It can be anything, SSH or Tomcat, Nginx. So we will mention the service name here. You can remember any one of this. And update AWS security group rule. So in AWS account, right? When we log into the AWS portal, there we have to allow the inbound traffic on port number 22. This will be enabled while creating the server itself. We have one checkbox. You need to select that one. Enable SSH traffic. This rule will be set to that particular server in the firewall. Okay. Once we have done all these steps, we can access the Linux server from one Linux server to another server, or from command prompt also we can access by using SSH protocol. So this is the command we use to connect to the Linux server from one server to another server. Okay, if anyone asks you to explain how can you connect from one Linux server to another Linux server, you can simply say by using SSH. Okay, by using SSH protocol we can connect. So what are the parameters, or what is the syntax of SSH? SSH hyphen P, port number, default port number is here 22, and username at IP address or host name of the Linux server. Let me connect here. First we'll switch to the root user. Now I am in root user. How can I know I am in I am a root user here or a normal user? We have a command, right? Whom am I? Use this one. Here you can see root. SSH hyphen P 22, username Ubuntu, give the IP address. So I am using here internal IP address 172.31.37.62. See, it is asking password. Enter Ubuntu users password here. Yes, now I have connected. Welcome to Ubuntu 24 version. Here it is showing, right? Similarly, we connect from one Linux server to another Linux server by using SSH. Okay, so I will show you how to connect from command prompt. So launch the command prompt window. Let me share this one. Share this. Here you can see, right? It is a command prompt window. In Windows, you can see it. So I am using SSH protocol to connect to the our Linux server. SSH -p 22 use username. I am using my username. At I need to enter the IP address of the server or host name. Okay, I'm going to use the IP address only. Enter. It will prompt password. Yes. Enter the password for this user. Let's see. We have connected to the Linux server. Who am I? And we can use whoever logged to the server, and W to know what user is doing. The command also it will display here along with CPU, ideal time, login time. This all details we can see by using W command. Okay. Why I have shown you this details? If you have created a instance Linux server in AWS account, when you try to access the particular new server using password authentication, it will not allow you to access it. You should use private key file to access the new instance. Okay, if you follow these steps, you can access your Linux server by using password authentication. Okay, so this is the one key point everyone should remember. How can you connect from one Linux server to another Linux server? By using SSH protocol. Okay, next move on to directory navigation requirements. Just to think about this all requirements. Okay, view current location in the system. How can you view? Is it required or not? Do you want to know where you are in the current directory path? Suppose in Windows, I am at a downloads folder or any other folder. Frequently, we can check, right? Uh, what is the current path where we are in? So here, if you see here, this is training documents where it is available. This is the complete address path. This is the current path I am at. Okay. Next thing, see the list of items or folders or directories. Oh, sorry, folders or files in the current location. How can we see? If I'm in training documents folder, double click on it, I can list out all files, whatever direct folders are available in this particular folder. Open or move into specific folder. How can we navigate from one folder to another folder? In Windows, double click on the specific folder. It will take you to the particular folder, right? So you can move from one folder to another folder. Now I am at training documents folder. I want to go back one step back folder. So I just click on this one. It will go back to the one folder. Previous one. Move back to the parent folder. Move back multiple levels in one step. In single step, how can we move back to the folders? Let me, I hope you can see this Windows File Explorer. Let's go some subdirectory. Now I want to directly jump to the program files. Two steps back, right? Two folders back. Just click on here. You can see program files. If you want to see C drive, here. We are just clicking on the folder name in the address bar. It is taking us to the specific folder. Okay. Move back to the parent folder, or move back multiple levels in one step. Jump to the root location. Root location means C drive. Here we have three drivers, C, D, E. This PC here you can see. This is root. C drive for C drive. It is a root for this all folders. What is the root directory here? C. C drive is the root directory, and D. D drive is the root directory for all these folders. E also. But these are all logically created. It holds the folders and files. Okay. Another requirements. Home location. Jump to the home location. Home location means we know that whenever we create a new account, it will have its own home directory. Suppose I'm going to create a user account with Divya's name. Divya user will have its own home directory where it will be created under home directory, home / Divya. Switch back to the previous location you visited. Now we are in one location, so you have to switch to the another location, but you have done some work there and you have to come back to the previous location. How we can say that? Here we are in SQL 2022 folder. Okay, I'm doing some work here. So later I realized I don't want to be here and I have some work in E drive SQL server folder. Now how can I come back to the previous path SQL 2022 folder? No. up here it is taking the next folder, but I think it is not going properly. It's okay. Switch back to the previous location, and we already know how to create a new folder and create nested folders in one step. Means subdirectories. We have created one folder. Under that, we can create one more folder. That would be subfolder. In Linux, how can we create complete path? Uh, okay, for example, I want to create a folder structure like home, under home, um, Ubuntu, test, training folder. So I want to create. So I will have home Ubuntu directories, but I'm going to create this test and training folders newly. We know individually we can create test directory by using mkdir. I want to create training directory also along with test. This training directory will be subdirectory of test directory. In single line, how can we create? With help of 2 times we can. So like how can we do that? Go to Ubuntu directory, cd, home, Ubuntu. First, we need to navigate to this Ubuntu directory. Once you are navigated there, we use mkdir to create new directory test. Again, what we have to do? Cd, go to test directory. Again, create one more directory under test directory. So what is it? Training. How many commands we have used to create training subdirectory? 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can take first one also. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 commands we have used 4 times. In single line, we can create it. How can you do that? mkdir -p. If I use -p, it creates entire structure. It will check home directory is available or not. It is available. It will ignore. Ubuntu, it will verify. It ignores. Next, test directory is not available. It creates test directory. Next, it look for training directory. If it is not available, it creates the training directory inside test. Okay. That is nested folders in one step. Delete an empty folder. Delete a folder along with all its content. We will see all these examples practically. Can you think about these requirements? Do you get in your day-to-day activities or not? So really helpful if you know how to use commands to achieve these requirements. Take 2 minutes time or 1 minute just to go through all requirements. First of all, if you are learning anything, you should know the purpose why you are going to learn. If you don't know the purpose and simply learning, you will forget after the class or after getting some practice sessions also. You will not be able to remember them. So focus on the purpose, later learn about it. You need some desire why you are going to learn. Okay. First, go through this all requirements for 1 minute. By end of the session, you will come to know how to achieve this all requirements in Linux server. You should know the commands. First of all, do you agree in day-to-day activities, we may get this kind of requirements in our work environment. Not only work, if you are using Linux and Linux OS for home purpose also, you may require to know how to perform these tasks in day-to-day activities. Please respond in the chat box. Do you agree? If you are, if you say yes, ping message yes here. No, no. Kalyani has responded. Okay. I hope now you are going to know how can we achieve by using Linux commands these requirements. In Windows, somewhat we can manage, but in Linux, everything is in command, right? When you know command, then only we can perform the task. We can easily learn commands, but if you don't know why you are using that particular command, what is the situation, what is the scenario, we can't remember it for long time. That is the problem. When you remember the requirement or use case, you can easily get it required command there. Okay, next move on to file and directory management topic. So first we'll see file system. We have already discussed it. Later I will come to here. So I will ask you to give the answer. So you will have answer after completing this session. So don't worry. File system overview. Okay, here you can see in Linux server, in Linux OS, we will have only one parent directory, that is root directory. It's top level directory. Okay, root is the top level. In Windows, when you buy a new laptop, there you can see only one driver, that is C drive, only C drive. You don't see D, E. These two are customized. If I want, I can partition the new drivers, okay, from the available space. So this is the, just assume we have in Windows only one driver, that is root directory. Under C drive, you can see all files and remaining folders. So here in Linux also, we have only one directory, that is root directory. Under root directory, you can see some subdirectories. These are all system defined. System provides these directories. So what is bin? Bin directory contains essential binaries, binaries files. Boot, boot directory, what is the purpose for it? Static files of the bootloader. Device, dev directory for device files. etc. Host specific system configuration. Home directory, user home directories. Whenever we are going to create new users, right? Users home directories are created under home directory. Lib, library files. And media, removable media means USB files, USB. If I connect the USB, a pen drive, these devices will show under media. Mount, we have seen, right? Network path. This is optional application software packages. Temporarily files will get stored in the temp directory. Once we restart this server, whatever files are in temp folder, those will get deleted automatically. And USR, user utilities and applications. So these are the system defined directories. So there is some purpose for each directory. Okay, how can we C. This all directories file system in Linux server by using ls forward slash. It was disconnected. Let me connect to the ls forward slash. So this forward slash represents to the root. Here you can see what are directories are available under root. You can see here, right? Bin, binaries, boot, etc, lib. These are all directories are available. Okay, fine. Now go back to here. Understand what is absolute path and relative path. So absolute path means complete path, full path. I want to navigate to this log folder. I have to mention where this log folder is available. It is available in the where directory. So cd we use for change directory. We know that. So absolute path means we have to enter the complete path where you are going to navigate. Relative path means we no need to give the entire path. So from current location, you will be navigating to the another folder. Suppose you are in home directory, you can navigate whatever directory is available in the home directory. So let's understand absolute path and relative path. So navigate to the home directory, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. No permissions because I have used. Here you can see, right? No permissions denied because I have connected to this Linux server using B Kumar account user. This user doesn't have access to this Ubuntu folder, Ubuntu directory. Okay, as of now, this user has normal user permissions. So this user doesn't have admin permissions. To get admin permissions, switch to the super user mode. Now enter password. If the user has super admin access, you can enter into the root user. Now use the same command cd home Ubuntu. This is the complete path I am giving. Cd slash means first slash means root. It represents the root. Under root, navigate to the home directory. Again, under home directory, navigate to the Ubuntu. Enter. Now where we are in, what is the current path? PWD. Use present print working directory home Ubuntu. So list out what are the files or directories available in Ubuntu. There are no files and directories available under Ubuntu folder. Let's create one directory mkdir test. Where this test directory is created, it's created under Ubuntu directory. List out that. Yes, now you can say test directory is created. Navigate to this test. Now I can simply use test. Where it is located? It is located under Ubuntu. I'm not giving the complete path here. At first time I have given complete path, that is absolute path. Now I am going to give the relative path. I am using test directory which is under Ubuntu. I am already inside Ubuntu folder. Just use test. There are two ways we can navigate to this test folder. If you are in Ubuntu directory, you can simply use cd and the specific directory name. Now I am in another directory. I am in where directory where, but I want to use test directory which is under home Ubuntu directory. How can I navigate to this one? use the complete path. There is no other option, right? If I use cd test, will it work? It may work if test directory is available in the var directory, but it will not take you to the Ubuntu test directory. If you want to navigate to the Ubuntu's test directory, then use the complete path. Complete path means absolute path. I am giving absolute path to access test directory, which is under Ubuntu. Yes, PWD. You can see we are in test directory, which is under Ubuntu. Okay, that is absolute path and relative path differences. Current location, we use current location for relative path. Simply mention the directory name to access it or navigate to it. But when we are going to switch from anywhere, we are in var directory or etc directory, here you are temp directory, you want to jump to the home directory, we should use the complete path. Okay, by practice you will come to know uh, whether to use absolute path or relative path. Based on the situation scenario, we can use any one of them. We know that how to see the current directory or current directory path where you are in by using pwd. ls command also we know it is used to list out available files and directories in the specific directory. Okay, ls-l, it lists the files with the timestamp long list. You can say long list ls. So come back, go back to the home directory, cd home or else root, go to root cd slash ls. Here you can see simply directory names in the long list format. You can view them ls-l. Here you can see d represents directory, l represents link, and here simply hyphen means that is file. There is no file available in root directory. How can we create a file? Touch 0 kb file or empty file we can create by using touch command test.txt. Let me show this details. Here you can see, just look into the prefix of this each uh, directory name or file name. Based on the prefix we can find out so what type it is. So l means link. We will discuss later what is link. So d means directory. Okay, here if you see hyphen, that is a file test.txt. Okay. Next, show hidden files. Hidden files means which file starts with dot. I don't know whether here hidden files are available or not. Anyway, we have a command to display hidden files ls-a. Here we have hidden files. We can view these all files, whatever here you can see, right, with the hidden files in the long list way also ls-la ls-la. These are dot dot, these are hidden directories, dd, right, hidden directories. Can we create one hidden file here? Touch dot linux dot txt ls-la. Here you can see dot, right. If I use simple command ls-l, there is no hidden file is showing up. To display hidden files, we use ls-a. In the long list format, we can use L also. Okay, ls-lt or same result. Okay, this is important. Okay, you need to remember how to display hidden files. So generally we use ls command to list out the files and directories, but especially if anyone asks you to display hidden files, you should use ls-a or ls-a but a we should mention, and list out only directories. I don't want files, I want to see the only directories. Then ls-d hashtag sign and /. Next, list only files or fine, whatever we use, that is okay. To list out the files and directories, only directories, only hidden files. Move on to cd command. We know cd, it is used to navigate from one directory to another directory. But how many ways are there we can use? So when I use the path directly, it will be taking us to the particular folder, particular path. Okay, here example cd var log, we will be navigated to the log folder which is under var directory. Okay, next I want to come back one folder. Here you can see move up one directory level. Move up means here var directory. How can we come back to the var directory? Again, I no need to use cd var, right? I can use like this, but I don't want to enter the path again. Is there any simple way to come back one folder back? cd dot dot space, give the space, cd space dot dot. Now you can see you are in var directory. One step back. So let's access the home directory, Ubuntu, and test. There is one test directory. We are here right now. So if you want to go back one step, what do you do? cd dot dot. In two steps, cd dot dot slash, again put dot dot. Move up two directory levels. Okay, step back to the two folders. cd dot dot one, it will take you to the one step back, and slash again put dot dot, it will take us to the home directory. See, after entering this command, you can see home directory. Two level up. Okay. We know that, right? Every user has its own directory, its own home directory. For Ubuntu user has its own home directory. Okay. If you want to navigate to the home directory, simply use cd tilde. Now can you see where your present working directory? Okay, come out from this root user, cd, use tilde, use present working directory, pwd. Here I can see it's navigated to the home directory. Wherever you are in, go to var or log. You are in var log directory. When we use cd tilde, this symbol, it will take us to the home directory, pwd. Check, see. If I create any files or directories, those will be created under bkumar directory only. So cd tilde, what it navigated to the home directory, users home directory. Next, cd is same, go to the home directory. Cd hyphen, go back to the previous directory. Cd hyphen, see, previous directory. Cd hyphen. So initially we were at var log directory. From here, what we did, we used cd tilde. It take us home directory of the user. Again, if you want to go back to the previous working directory, use cd hyphen. These are the commands we use to achieve the requirements, whatever I have listed out here. Navigation. So when you know this all things, you will be get familiarity with the Linux operating system. You can easily navigate from one directory to another directory without taking much time. Okay, here you can see directory creations. How can we create directory? One directory we can create mkdir dir1. So let me create directories. So how many ways we can create directories? Okay, mk, go back to the home directory. We will do, so home directories are workspace, users workspace. So I can create anything in my home directory folder. Let me verify. Yes, I am in my home directory. I am going to create a folder mkdir test1. Okay, I want to create three directories at a time. How can I create? Mkdir test1 space test2. Okay, already test1 was already created. Test2, test3, test directory 4. Let me verify whether these directories are created or not. Yes, created. Okay, 4 directories created. Fine. So I have used individual commands, but I want to create 100 files at a time. Sorry, 100 directories. 100 directories I want to create at a time. How can I create? Or 50. Let's take a command here. mkdir use test. The sequence number I am using clever. From 5 to 50, or else you can take another name here, sample 1 to 10 dot txt text files I want to create. Oh, sorry, directories, right? No need. Ls. Here you can see sample 1 2 3 4 ls hyphen ltr. Use this command to list out. Here you can see, right, with a single command we have created 10 directories. 10 directories. Okay, now I want to create folder structure like under my home directory. I want to create a complete path which is not available already. Home bigmer Linux tutorial. First verify whether this directory is available or not. cd, give this path, we get error. No such file or directory. Okay. If I want to create this folder structure, first what we have to do? We need to navigate this folder home directory, next bkumar directory, then Linux, later tutorial. If Linux directory is not available, what we have to do? We have to create it. Then we have to create tutorial. Can we go ahead and use a single command to create entire path or entire directory system in a single command? Yes. mkdir, use mkdir -p. Now give this path. Yes. Can we verify now whether this path is available or not? Yes, this path is available. Linux tutorial. Here you can see, right? Go to present working print working directory, home bkumar Linux tutorial. How these two folders got created? When I mentioned -p, okay, it creates nested directories, also subdirectories, a complete path. If any directory is not available, it creates first. Next, it creates the subdirectory under the parent directory. Next, file creation and editing. Now we have discussed, right, by using touch command, we can create files. Those are empty files or 0 KB files. How can we create multiple files at a time? Use touch file name space one more file name. By using this command, we can create multiple files. But I want to create 10 files or 100 files in the sequence. How can we create it? Similarly, how we have created for directories. Okay, I have not mentioned here. Okay, mkdir, use sample, open brace, 1 to 10. 10 directories get created. Same way here, we use touch file name. It can be anything. File name 1.5.txt. It creates 5 files. Let me use it. Touch. We know by using this touch command we can create files, but I want to create 10 files at a time. Test files. Those are all test files. Or else you can use some note 1 to 10 at a time. Give the txt extension ls. Here you can see 10 files got created with single command. Okay, so you can give different file names, not only this note.txt, note1.txt, note2.txt, not like that. You have some different file names. Manually enter the file name here. So file name ital.txt, sql.txt. 2 files I'm going to create. App.txt. 3 files got created just now. Let's list out those 3 files here: ital, app, and sql. There is no option. You have to specify the file names with the different names. You can create them with a single command. In the sequence you are going to create files, you can use this one, braces, and give the sequence number. It creates files in the sequence. Okay, next, by using cat command. Using cat command also, we can create new file, but with content. We can create a file with content. But what is the problem here? First time you can create a file by using cat greater than file name. So second time, if I want to edit, if I want to add some content to the existing file, if I use the same command, the data will get overwritten. So erased. So existing data will get erased and new data will be added. To avoid that problem and append the data, append the content to the existing file, we use this one, cat greater than file name. So what is the difference between touch and cat here? By using cat, we can read the file. Okay, we can read the file. Simply put cat itil dot txt. There is no content, but we can read the file by using cat command. And by using cat command, we can create the file itself. So I am going to create a new file with the name ticket details. Ticket details dot txt. When I press enter, it will ask us to add content. So some content we need to add. So without content, can we create a file by using cat command? Yes. Let's verify whether ticket details file is created or yes. I have not entered any data, even though file was created. So there is no content. How can I add content? Two options, right? We can create the file without content or with content by using cat command. Now I am going to create one more file. Summary.txt. Add details. We can add here. This is test file. Okay. Let's open this file. Summary. Here you can see the content, right? This is test file. It is coming like this. We can read the file content using cat and we can create the new file also. I want to append some data to this summary file. If I use simply greater than symbol once and use this file name, if I enter something here, new content, let's open this file, new content. Where is this is test file content? It was erased, it was overwritten and added the new content. Okay, to avoid this problem, we can use cat greater than and file name. Whatever content I'm going to add here, that will be appended to the summary.txt file. This is latest content. Let's open this file now. Here you can see two lines. This is the first line and we have just now appended this line to this summary text file. Okay, next, viewing file contents. That is we know, right? By using cat command, we know how to read the file content. Okay, here there are some more options. So we have head. If I use head command, it shows first 10 lines of the file, first 10 lines, and tail command bottom means last 10 lines. Okay, we will see later these three comments, less comment also. We will discuss later about this head, tail, less, and copying files from one location to another location. We have already discussed in the first session, I believe. We use copy command, cp, copy the file from one location to another location, and recursively copy the directory. So directory contains some data, some files are there in the directory. We want to copy entire directory to the another folder, another directory. How can we copy? So we should use -r, cp-r, and rename or move the files or directories. We use mv command. This also we know. Coming to deleting the files, how to delete files by using rm command. You can delete multiple files by giving the space between file names. Rm file name, one file will get deleted. Rm file 1.txt space file 2.txt, two files will get deleted. And we can delete empty directory by using rmdir. Okay, rmdir, it is only for deleting the empty directories. So if you try to delete any directory which contains some files, we can't delete. So for that, we should use -rf, rm-rf directory name. So if you want to delete the directory forcefully, we use f command, rm-rf directory name. Okay, remember, you are going to delete a empty directory, then you can use rmdir. If the directory contains some data, this command doesn't work. Okay, we can use rm-rf directory name. It can be having some data or not. It can be empty or it can have some content. No problem. You can use this one, rm-r directory name, or you can use this one also. But we need to be careful. We need to be careful to delete directories. Okay, display directory structure with subdirectories. We have a command, tree command. Okay, this command lists out the hierarchy, directories hierarchy. Tree. I'm just using the, where it is, here. I'm going to use tree command. So if it is not available in your system, we need to install tree. It is advanced command. Okay, go back to the home directory, cd home, use tree command here. So this is the structure. In home directory, we have Kumar and John, Murli, Suresh, Ubuntu. These are the directories. So here you can see error opening directory because Kumar is a normal user. This user doesn't have admin privileges to access other directories. That's the reason you can see error. 2 minutes. Okay, simply use only list of directories without any files. Here it lists out only directory names. Navigate to the root user. Use tree.
Daddy?
Here you can see a tree command to display the directory structure in a tree like format. We have two options. Tree, you can use it list of directories with files also.
Sir, your voice is low.
If it is not available in your system, you need to install tree command. Apt install.
Hello.